Okay. Okay, we're live now. Captain flies in his mouth, tasting freedom while he dares, and crawling back to the top of the stairs, of the stairs. He won't see the sun again, please succumb. He's broken out love.
That would have been. We don't have much time. That would have been so much cooler if he had actually won.
Okay, we tried to do this earlier, so this is take 2. Welcome to the
Too late. Let's keep moving.
Tables, Ladders, and Podcast. WrestleMania Supplemental Edition. I am your host, Narcissus. Today we have Jabba.
Well, hello, Renee.
All right. We have Nowhere Man. Our social media ambassador that's never used Twitter.
Seriously.
Point.
I'm Mr. Regal.
And last but not least,
That's right.
there we go, Afterlife.
Look at me. I'm more important than Point. I'm more important.
Okay, we're coming off a pretty crazy fucking WrestleMania, and if you haven't watched it, what the fuck are you watching this for? Go watch it right now.
Don't watch it. You're just gonna be sad.
Shut up.
I'm so sad we got
Okay.
almost everything we wanted.
I'm so sad that everything that we wanted to happen happened, except for maybe one or two.
You say that, and it's just such a lie.
It literally
shut
was
up.
one or two things.
It was one or two things. That was an amazing WrestleMania we're coming off of. We're going to go through it a little bit here right before Raw, which should be an awesome Raw as well. So let's get into WrestleMania. Point, take us.
All right, so we started with the WrestleMania 2-hour-long kickoff show with a cavalcade of pre-show panels, including Jimmy Hart. There was, who else? There's some football guy?
Yes,
Sean Merriman.
people who aren't as important as Jimmy Hart,
Fair enough.
who looks exactly like he does like back in the 80s because they've kept him in cryogenic stasis.
I really do want to know how many of those jackets he fucking has. He has to have like 500 of those jackets.
They probably just make more. They probably make one for him every time he's gonna be on television.
And how much money has he invested in bullhorns?
He probably owns a distribution.
And he decorates all of them. So I mean,
Yeah.
Well, what else is he gonna do? He's just gonna sit at home with a vajazzler and make it pretty.
What a vajazzler!
Let's just say Jimmy Hart has been drinking whatever Ernest Borgnine was drinking for 50 years.
So eventually, it's gonna kill him.
Eventually.
So, regardless, we had the
Yeah, weren't you saying something?
yes, thank you, Sam. Afterlife, the Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team Title match between the Usos, Los Matadores, Ryback, and the Real Americans.
This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, when the match was first announced, we were like, okay, well, this is clearly just to get them a paycheck. There's not going to be anything really important or notable to happen.
And, like, it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but there were some really good moments, and we finally got our Cesaro swagger break, kind of?
No, he's full-on babyface now. He's got to be.
Yeah, it's always crazy, though. Like, he did a full-on heel turn, except for he didn't do, like, an impact maneuver. He just did the swing, so it's kind of weird.
I think it's more of just an embarrassment thing.
Wait, you mean
Yeah.
a face turn, not a heel turn.
Oh, yes, a face turn.
A heel
I'm drunk,
turn
everyone,
face.
just so we're clear.
Professional.
It's taken us like 6 hours to get this.
But
not point any figures.
some highlights we want to point out. How about Swagger doing that like top rope flapjack into the Patriot line.
That was awesome.
Oh god.
That was beautiful.
And he eliminated the Los Matadores, or Los Matadores, not the Los Matadores.
We had quite a few flying matadors and flying Usos.
Flying Usos, Mago.
I hate him.
Yeah, man. The match was pretty good. I just thought it was funny because he did his face turn, and then he does the big swing, and Swagger gets up, and he's like, "This is mildly inconvenient. I'm really dizzy." Oh shit.
What else? Cesaro fucking destroyed Ryback when they eliminated Ryback.
Oh yeah.
I really think they're seeing now that they got in Cesaro what they wanted in Ryback, and that was just kind of the exclamation point on it. This large bald guy who is freakishly strong.
I mean, he's not as big as Ryback, and he doesn't have that monster look like he
No,
does,
but I mean,
he might be as strong as Ryback is.
probably stronger.
I don't know, man. Jesus, he is so strong, and we see that a little bit later on, but we can get to that when we get to that.
I think we may have to stop just running down the pre-show matches now.
Yeah.
If they're going to start putting decent matches on there, which they probably have to, you couldn't put the Divas match on a pre-show. Because who is going to go and buy a pay-per-view based on that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, typically pre-show matches don't have any consequence, and while the titles didn't change, a team broke up, and Cesaro's now a babyface. So, I mean, there's significant things happening. So, watch the pre-show, guys.
Yeah, you can't. Because of this whole merger now of the cable shows and the network shows becoming one fluid thing, they're not going to be putting just throwaway crap on the network because they want you to fucking get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately,
anyway.
some matches that you actually want to see are going to have to be on the pre-show, which is kind of shitty. But
Well, I mean, if you got the network, you get to watch it anyway. So
Yeah.
get the network.
Not till they pay us.
Yeah. After they start paying
I'm not
us.
going to kill the network for them. Goddamn.
So
Yeah,
yes,
right.
Anyway.
after then we came to WrestleMania proper with the half-hour intro starting with Hulk Hogan, wherein he called the Superdome the Silver Dome, I believe.
They
Yeah.
also said it was the WWF-E.
Yes.
20 seconds in! 20 seconds of speak!
Welcome to the WWFE and the Pontiac Silverdome, everybody.
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
He's as good as we are.
He's
He's getting millions of dollars!
He prepared about as much as we did.
Give us millions of dollars.
But the segment was saved by Stone Cold and The Rock.
Stone Cold came out and tripped over 7 or 8 words in 2 sentences, but it was still better.
But at least you expect Stone Cold to be hammered.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
You can tell he is already well into it.
So I know we all expected. I expected Cena to come down there, right?
I am so glad they didn't.
See, I
because
really
it was all
wanted
3
it.
of them, and it was
I
all
know
the
you did. We know you did. We get it. Your whole gimmick is that you wanted WrestleMania to suck. We get it.
It was all the icons of wrestling, from the different eras and stuff like that. And I knew for a fact in my mind that Cena was going to come down and be like,
Oh, thank you.
"I'm just as important as you are,"
I
or
was
Triple
hoping-
H.
Not Triple H, but I was hoping that Orton would.
Well,
Because Orton is the first ever undisputed champion.
it would have gotten him heat for sure, but I don't know if he needs any more heat.
It would have been nice to bring in a young upstart heel, maybe, to get some heat by taking all these guys' finishes after insulting them.
Like Bad
Well,
News Barrett.
Rob
or Damien
Conway.
Sandow.
Now, you can't expect them to start building new guys just because there are well-established people. The well-established people only face off against other well-established people. I think we've come to terms with
Right. Anyway.
Isn't that the fucking truth?
So, yeah, especially by the next match. Yeah.
Speaking of the first match of the night, Daniel Bryan taking on Triple H, cosplaying as Shao Kahn.
That was awesome.
You know what he looked like to me?
Shao Kahn?
No, I couldn't place it. He looked like Skeletor at the end of the movie. When he gets the sorceress's scepter
Yeah,
and
I
it
can
turns all
see that.
fucking diva gold.
and Skeletor was accompanied to the ring by Stephanie McMahon in 2001 booty shorts.
She looked like
yeah.
Zatanna.
Oh,
looked like
she
half-assed
definitely
Zatanna.
looked like Zatanna. And I was pointing this out the entire time. I was like, that's fucking Zatanna. If she had the top hat, all she needed was fishnets, top hat, Zatanna. Bam!
Also,
Shao Kahn and Zatanna together.
Also Shao Kahn's slave girls were Sasha Banks. Who were the other two?
Summer Rae?
Charlotte.
No, it was Charlotte.
Yeah, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and
and
Alicia,
someone.
Alexis Bliss, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah,
He looked
she's one of the
awfully happy.
utilitarian divas.
Stephanie was awfully happy that he had those 3 slave girls with him.
Hey,
Just something
hey.
she's cool with.
You know what? We don't know them on a personal level. They might be. They might be all into that, and then you know what? More power to them. Whatever makes them happy.
In this day and age, who are we to judge?
Yeah. So the match.
Well,
Podcasters.
yeah.
Yeah. So the match.
But that's what we're doing.
The match was a fucking classic.
Oh yeah.
Instant classic.
Yeah.
Fuck off. No. This was. And this is not me going, oh, Daniel Bryan carried him, even though I love Daniel Bryan. This was the best Triple H match I've ever seen.
He was so fucking good, and it makes you wonder, like, where the fuck were you all this time?
Yeah,
you're pulling out tiger suplexes and chain wrestling and chain submissions, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
Like half the match was brought to you by the ghost of Chris Benoit.
Yeah, what the shit?
So many
rolling
Benoit.
German suplexes from Bryan. Triple H locking in the crippler crossface 2 or 3 times.
And where did it get him? You know, this is the
Whoa.
guy. No, hold on. This is the guy who's supposed to be saving the fucking company. And what happens? He gets all fucking fancy, and you're sitting there praising him for all this shit he hasn't done or didn't used to do, and all this amazing new shit, and it fucking failed him.
How did it fucking fail him?
He lost the match.
Okay, you. The whole point of the match. No,
outta
fuck off. No, the whole point of the match was to put over Bryan, so he succeeded.
For all the things we've said about Triple H, for all of the things that we say they've gone in the wrong direction, and don't get me wrong, they have. They did for a really long time, but they pulled it together and they made it. They definitely salvaged what they fucked up before.
Yeah. Also, point of interest. Normally when they do these like big long Triple H war matches, they trade finishers like 5 or 6 times. Bryan kicked out of the pedigree, which set the precedent that, okay, they're going to no-sell each other's finisher. Triple H did not kick out of the knee.
No, he didn't.
It was a one-shot insta-kill. I love that even at WrestleMania, where everyone is expected to kick out of finishers, the knee is still instant death.
They're keeping it instant death. And like it can be argued later on in the card that it isn't, but they waited a little while. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I think it still is. By the way, on the Chris Benoit thing, I firmly believe that all the beer spilled from the mat in the opening segment, which resulted in them having to remove it, and then realizing, wait a minute, we don't have another mat. And then checking the back of the production truck, the only mat they had left was the one from WrestleMania 20.
Well, I like to think of it as 10 years ago, Triple H tapped out to a crippler crossface, and now he's trying to break the curse.
Yeah. That's why he kept using
that
it,
worked.
trying to pass it on.
Yeah. That's why he lost all those other Mania matches after WrestleMania 20.
You know, for all the things, I mean, I haven't been on the Triple H train for a while, and a lot of it's been because of politics. But I mean, you forget that he can fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, and he has so much passion for the business and everything, and he just he can fucking do it.
Yeah.
Which it makes me fucking crazy when you watch some of his other matches. You're just like, where is
Like
this?
the last 2 Undertaker matches where they were just kind of rolling, like just lying around and going, "Stay down."
Yeah. And,
No.
and don't get me wrong, this wasn't like a Bryan's carrying Triple H thing. It wasn't like that at
No,
all.
I mean Triple H was all over him for most of the match.
Yes,
This was
absolutely.
incredibly hard hitting as well.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't think that one of them was going to have a match later on in the night. Some of the spots they were doing.
Yeah, that bit where he like wrenched his arm right into the table.
And
Flying
that-
over the top
that-
rope, taking really bad lightning
That
to
backdrop onto
Yeah.
the apron.
That was my biggest concern going into this WrestleMania, is that if Daniel Bryan has 2 matches, the first match is just going to be a throwaway. It's
Yeah.
going to be like 5 to 8 minutes or something
I
like
kind of
that.
thought they were going
It
to
was-
repeat the Sheamus match and have him just immediately knee Triple H and knock him out.
Yeah.
Honestly, the match was shorter than I expected, even for the opener. I thought they were going to go all out and absolutely.
It was still
wreck
like
it.
20 minutes long.
Yeah.
but-
According to Wikipedia, it was 26 minutes.
But,
Yeah, so
but
they
it's a
went for
pretty
nearly half
long
an
match.
hour.
You expected a longer opener than 26 minutes.
Not an opener because I didn't know they were going to make this the absolute first match. but
Does
I
that
thought-
include the entrances? Because Triple H is
Probably not.
Yeah.
The fact that Triple H could have also got title shot makes sense storyline-wise that it went on first, so he would have had time to recover. For
Yeah.
the main event.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about
I
that
just didn't
that
think
big
about it.
elaborate Triple H entrance, I think it builds the story so well because you have him coming out and he's all famed and he's got all of this crazy shit on, like you're
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it set himself up as the boss fight.
yes, exactly. And
I mean, in more ways than one, because he's also the boss.
and then
I like that. This is why. This is why you're there, man. Yep.
And then Brian comes out to his normal music, not to a lot of fanfare, and then fucking beats him. It was so awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's definitive. There's no horseplay. There's no like switching refs around. There's no roll up. He just straight up fucking beat him.
You know, I would have liked on
Clean.
Brian's entrance though. A giant inflatable goat.
Yes.
That would have just tipped it over the edge.
Well, you want a
That
giant
just
inflatable goat in
flies
general.
across the
Yeah, it's just
the arena.
Have him bring out a valet, one of his own slave girls, with it on a string, just walking around the ring the whole time, just so we can get a non-stop influx of "We got us a flying goat," no matter what he's doing.
I really hope JBL never accompanies anyone to the airport. But we'll get along with it.
So shall we move along?
Yeah, we got like
let's keep
24
going, let's
minutes
keep going.
before Raw.
All right, so after that was the six-man tag match. There was the Shield taking on Kane and the Corporate Outlaws.
This was a rich, creamy butternut squash that you could chop up with some cucumbers and make some stir fry.
Ooh,
Hated
I
it.
like that.
Hated it.
Oh yeah, because
You hated what match was this?
This was a 3-minute long six-man tag match.
Oh,
that ended with a
God.
double, triple power bomb.
You
How
know what?
fucking cool is that?
apparently Billy Gunn got injured in this match, and that's why it was so short. But I'm really yeah. I guess
At least
he got injured at some point, but I don't know when he got injured though. I heard that he got injured from the triple powerbomb, but wouldn't that be the
That's
finish?
the fucking end.
Yeah. So I don't know. He must have gotten
I really
goosed earlier on.
I don't know, but I think the plan was just for the Shield to just destroy them.
Destroying it is fine, but there was no there was
What's in this?
By the way, we are being
You're gonna be hammered.
provided refreshments by Barbara, who also has set up this whole thing and
Thank
saved
you,
our
Barbara.
asses.
Yes.
Thank you very
The
much.
Blade isn't the only one who has slave girls.
She just knocked over the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so the Shield utterly destroy
Just
the Authorities goons,
fucking killed.
which they needed to.
yeah, but it just felt like it was one of the only storylines with build that wasn't complete fucking aggravating nonsense for the last 6 months, and should have had.
Except that between the Shield and go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So between Shield and Kane, yes, sure, but the Outlaws are just like thrown in there.
Yeah. There
It
wasn't
didn't matter
a
who
ton of
Kane's
build to
goons
this.
were. It just the Shield has just come off from being spending so much time. Are they going to break up? Do they actually hate each other? And
Well,
they
yeah,
just become this. They reinvigorate their unity.
Which is why they were able to just steamroll them again. That was the whole point. When the Shield is a united front, nothing can stop them.
With the way it was booked, the way it was just a complete squash, I'm kind of glad the Outlaws run it and they didn't call up another team for
Yeah.
that purpose, because that would have kind of
Yeah.
buried them.
We talked before, like the Ascension could have easily been a part of that, and especially like with Kane, they would fit right in.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they got squashed, I would.
If it was going to be a real match, that would have been good.
Yeah. So they didn't put much time into this. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it longer than the actual match.
Yeah.
So let's move right along.
Java, we're being told that it is somewhat hard to hear you.
God damn it.
And
We might want to move the mic a little closer to you.
after that, we have the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which was surprisingly good.
It was fun. It's not as fun as a Rumble, but what is?
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest problem with battle royals is everybody's there at the same time. You don't get the setup.
You don't get the surprise.
Yeah, you don't get like the exposition that you do in the Royal Rumble. So it's just all at once.
But the thing is, I also think that the problem with something like this is a 30-man Royal Rumble is one thing. A 30-man starting off in the middle and then instant chaos
Yeah.
with 30 fucking guys in one 12-by-12 ring.
Yeah.
That's so much going on that you can't focus.
Yeah.
You can't get invested. There's nothing.
Until they thin out the field, it is not particularly fun. But once they start getting into the spots, it was actually.
Towards the start, everyone noticed the great Carly doing his best the Iron Sheik impression.
Mhm.
He was
No.
doing absolutely nothing. He was walking up to people, like, about to do a move on them, and then when they didn't notice, he just kind of, well, whatever, and just walked to the other corner.
It was kind of sad.
I think my problem with them is that for a battle royal, you're used to like for the Royal Rumble, it's like a 60-minute match, and these battle royals they cram into what, like 10,
10,
15
15
minutes
minutes,
or something.
14-minute match.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's just not the same thing. But
True.
in
Kofi got his standard amazing spot.
Kofi at this point is just Spider-Man, isn't he?
he fucked it up and it was still awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was bullshit.
I think he was
No,
supposed
think
to.
everything's bullshit.
No, time out. Look, nobody has ever fallen out of any rumble like that. Not in how long, and landed on their back and said, "Well, hey, my feet didn't hit the floor."
I do get that
do?
though. I do get that though. Like if you fall out on your back, what can't everyone just stick their feet out into the air? And be like,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
didn't get it.
That's all I'm saying. Look,
Yeah.
we give Kofi credit every time he wows us, and he does it effectively every Rumble. That's basically what he does with his career. So I'll give him that. But this one, come on, the guy fucked it up. He fell on his back.
It was
and
better
said,
than the
"Hey,
pogo
he
stick
did
chair. You gotta
land
admit that.
He did land with his feet on the steps, at least.
It may be if your entire body is on the floor, apart from your feet, but your feet are in the air, then you're eliminated. If they're contacting some other surface, then you're okay.
Anyway,
I
don't know, man.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway.
The end of this match had Cesaro and the Big Show as the last two guys.
Yeah. Everybody knew Big Show was gonna win this, right? We knew.
If you recall, a couple of podcasts ago, I said it would be fucking amazing if they redid the Hogan Andre Slam, and they kind of did.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. I was fully expecting Cesaro's going to get this big, push, and then suddenly Big Show knocks him out and throws him out. But instead, they do the Andre Slam.
Yeah.
Cesaro just picks up Big Show like it's nothing.
Well, not like it's nothing.
Well, okay, but still.
Comparatively nothing.
I'll just scoop.
It's
I'll
almost
just
like
scoop Paul
WWE.
White.
It's almost like WWE for this show, for the most part. Not every match. They went on the internet and just looked up all of the fantasy booking for all of the smarts, and they were like, "Okay, let's just fucking do it."
He picked him up like it was a Punk picking up Sheamus.
Yeah.
After the Royal Rumble, they've been on this desperate push to appease all these really vocal fans.
Well, they've
so
been
it
on-
surprised me if that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, the damage control has been pretty obvious, at least a flailing effort for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Dude, there's
damage
no
control.
fucking pleasing you. I'm sorry. They're
That's
doing
what I
what we
was
want.
agreeing.
They're doing what we want, and now you're complaining that they're doing what we want.
No, I'm not complaining. I was agreeing.
But you have to admit it was damage control. After the Rumble, we were.
Yeah, okay, the Rumble. Everybody knows the Rumble was a fucking nightmare. We've
But
been
it
over
seems
that.
it
Yeah,
seems
I'm
but
just
it
saying.
seems so far away. It was 2 fucking months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And they came back and put on an
Yeah.
amazing show.
Yeah,
to
you're
make
right.
up
They
for
did.
it.
They did.
Amazing. Word.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck off!
It's almost like CM Punk sacrificed himself for the better of the company.
Mhm.
He's a martyr, everyone.
Yeah. So
Those red holes in his
yeah,
make a whole lot of sense
yeah.
now.
So yeah,
Stigma.
not only is Cesaro a babyface, now he's also known as being this strong like a freak Swiss Superman.
So you couldn't have booked that Battle Royal better because I was not interested in it at all.
We
No.
were expecting minimal effort to go into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like a total throwaway, and instead we got something really cool out
It
of
was
it.
so much better than the Royal Rumble, which is just weird. Has
Yeah.
that happened before? Has a Battle Royal Mania ever been better than the Royal
I don't
Rumble?
know, man.
I wouldn't say that was better than the Royal Rumble.
Better than this
sorry,
year's Rumble.
Better than a
come
Royal
on.
Rumble. In
Yeah,
general.
The
Thank you.
outcome was better, but no, the Royal Rumble match was better than that for sure.
Okay.
But we can
Okay,
move on.
Anyway,
Okay,
next.
so after that was Cena and Wyatt.
Okay.
So Bray Wyatt had an amazing entrance.
It was so fucking cool.
That was one of the coolest entrances.
The whole voodoo thing, and then the band, Mark Crozier and the Rels. He's wearing this Baron Samedi skull makeup, and everyone else has these fucking medieval plague doctor masks, which was terrifying.
Yeah.
They actually did a really good job on the song as well, unlike a few of the other live performances at previous WrestleManias.
No, yeah, it sounded spot on.
But just off enough so you knew it wasn't just pre-recorded.
Yeah. And the crowd was so hot for Wyatt.
All right,
Yeah.
I think we're going to need more alcohol, as we've been told to drink whenever Nowhere Man tells Afterlife to fuck off.
Okay. We'll be
Well,
dead by the
let
end
me
of the
tell you
night.
guys. Let me tell you guys. I don't need more alcohol.
I don't know what this is.
It's got good stuff in it.
You know what? Fucking Barbs, I do need more alcohol.
You know what else?
Cage doors, everybody.
So this match,
Superman is probably the worst hero.
I'm gonna
I've
throw
ever
you
heard
out
of.
this window.
Okay, so
I am gonna throw you out the goddamn window.
Okay, we're gonna go like 10, 15 minutes into Raw, guys. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta move along. So Cena what?
Really good match.
Okay. Everyone's gonna complain about the outcome, even some of you guys. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's gonna derail them. Granted, I was wrong about the Sandow thing. Keep on shoving that in my face. But I don't think that they're going to.
I don't think they're going to intentionally torpedo Bray Wyatt.
No.
But okay, the whole story has been that Bray is supposed to be getting in Cena's head. He's supposed to be breaking down everything that he's about, everything he stands for.
The fact that he no-sells all of the head games all the
it's
time
the
is
first
frustrating.
I know
It's
it's a
very
John
frustrating.
Cena. It's every John Cena feud ever.
Where I always go with this is when Edge attacked his dad, and then he came out like the next day like when he was going to get his revenge, just like he does every single match.
That just happened the last time Randy attacked his dad.
Yeah.
Every single.
Or
Like,
how about those months when Kane was trying to get him to embrace the hate?
And before that, when the Nexus was trying to corrupt him.
He
Yeah.
was part of the Nexus.
Yeah.
He was
like,
fired.
For a week.
And you know, and this is the problem with John Cena. As a performer, he's fine. He's honestly far better than people give him.
I want to like
But
him.
yeah, that's the thing. I want to like him, but his character exists in a vacuum. He's
Yep.
not affected by anything that happens to him.
it's almost like he's not a part of the continuity of the universe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like his own entity.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But
So-
so this made no sense. I mean,
I
it
won't
might-
say-
it
I
might
won't
not
say it made
derail
no
him.
sense.
No, I'm not saying it's going to end Bray's. It's not going to Ziggler him.
Yeah.
But it didn't make any sense.
This is what I thought was going to happen. I thought that he beat Bray because Undertaker was going to have his last match next WrestleMania, and it was going to be Cena versus Taker, which would draw a shit ton of money. It would be Cena versus The Streak, and for anyone that watches the show, you know that that's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
But
Well-
man, I will say this though. Cena cannot lose at every WrestleMania because if
He didn't
if he
lose at last
does, if he
WrestleMania.
does, well, I know, but he lost to The Rock and he's lost
lost
a
to
couple
Miz.
matches at WrestleMania. He lost to Miz, and he can't do that all the time because then beating Cena won't mean anything.
The match
What?
could have made
Bullshit.
Bray forever, and you still can.
It's
make
all
it.
about the matches that you remember. He can win most of the matches during the year, and if he loses
well-
at WrestleMania all the time, you're gonna fucking remember.
Well, the problem is, okay, losing to The Rock, whatever. I mean, it's The Rock. Of course he's going to lose to The
Yeah.
Rock. Losing to The Miz doesn't matter because The Rock did it.
Well, at the time, Miz was a huge fucking deal. We can't just forget it.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
I
lied. But
lied.
this should have been the opportunity for a career-defining WrestleMania moment that they missed. It should, you know what? I mean, it should have been. It should have been like when Undertaker crucified Austin, the person who is the defining part of an era, and now this force of evil beyond his comprehension humiliates and destroys
but
him.
how long has Bray Wyatt been on the main roster?
There are going to be
Is
tons
it-
of
has-
opportunities
As
to make
Bray Wyatt or
As how long has
but-
Bray Wyatt been on the main roster as Bray Wyatt? Less than a year?
Right?
Okay.
And how? But I mean,
But again, you look at Sandow. You look at fucking Ziggler.
yeah. They keep saying, "Oh well, he's got to earn his stripes. He's got to slow.
I don't know if it's about earning his stripes
and
because
even
they've
then-
already
But-
propelled him way far ahead of
Well,
everybody else.
Well, look at the reactions he's getting.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
only
the whole
per-
crowd
the o-
swaying
yeah,
along.
the only person that the crowd was hotter for that night than Bray Wyatt was Daniel Bryan.
I mean,
It is
this is what I-
foolish not to strike while the iron's hot.
This is something I was sort of getting into a while ago on the forums. This is the worst written show in the last several years. Not this episode. I'm talking the series of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown.
The build has been confusing. And,
The last 2 years has just been consecutively has just been degrading, nonstop in terms of continuity, in terms of character, acting like themselves, and so you get something like The Miz that skyrockets
and then
disappears to the fucking title, and then plummets. You cannot say there will be opportunities for fucking Bray.
Yeah.
Because look at a guy like Miz and Ziggler and Sandow who should have been treated so well.
How about Cody?
Cody, fucking
Swagger,
Fandango, Swagger.
All I'm saying is, you look at the end result. They put over a lot of new talent on this. We can't go back and be like, well, you should have put over this guy. And you
well,
should have
okay,
done this, and you should have
this to me was the one major gripe I had, was they had a tremendous opportunity and they chose not to take it.
A lot of guys have been very beyond repair. My gut feeling says that Bray is not one of those people.
No, Bray
I
will
don't think
survive
he was.
this.
It's just
Bray
who knows how long anybody's going to last these days.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are trying to drag it out.
Yeah, there might not be a next year.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll see.
Hey,
I don't think so.
I agree
we
with
have
you.
to move along.
Moving on.
All right.
So after that, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey,
Let me start
hey.
off by saying The Undertaker looked really saggy and slow and broken.
This
down
was a
and old.
sad match.
Okay.
But we
First
can
off,
laugh about
before we say anything, we should say that early in the match, apparently, when Lesnar was doing his single leg takedowns and stuff, Undertaker bonked his head pretty hard. And listen, he's like 48, 49. How old is he?
He's
Okay.
like
That would explain a lot.
Okay.
No, he's
And
pushing 50.
he's a little bit older. I mean, like he.
Is 49.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
how everyone
So-
felt silent waiting for that.
So he hasn't slowed down a ton, but I mean, like, he hit his head early in the match
And got a concussion.
and got a concussion.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes, he did. After WrestleMania, or there were reports, and it was confirmed today, I guess, that he was taken away by an ambulance and he had to go to the hospital and stuff like that.
I did not.
To be fair, okay, yeah, that's
But he did
in
look
his
like he
fairness.
got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because he probably was.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I mean, look at, and it's weird because the actual match, I mean, whether it was because he was hurt or just because he just lost so much steam, I don't think it was very good.
Well, I also think those two legitimately don't like each other, so they
Yeah.
may
Hold
not have
on.
been working.
I
out.
will say
Well,
this.
Brett and Sean hated each other's guts, and they put on some class.
I will say this. I
Fair
think
enough.
part of the reason why we didn't think it was good in the beginning is because we're used to the WWE status quo. We're used to Taker winning all the time, and
Yeah.
we were just waiting for Taker to beat him.
Yeah, it's like,
basically
we do
what
this.
was
It's
happening.
like- It's like, okay, he kicks out of the F5, he kicks out of the tombstone, he kicks out of the
Wait,
So the
head.
build-up didn't
But
help
then-
out.
Wait a
The
minute.
entire build-up was focused
People
on the fact that
love-
Brock couldn't do anything to the Undertaker. Undertaker got the better of him in every single exchange. they
Except
had,
for the
apart
final
from
one.
I mean,
And yeah, we knew there was no way in hell Brock was going to win this
You're
match.
definitely not
Excuse me.
expecting something. You're just kind of sitting there, just waiting for the
And-
result, and
and
then the one
then-
you didn't expect comes on. It's just
I think
You
they
were
missed an
all-
opportunity with the build up to this match, by the way, because they have a storied history, like a long time,
It's
like
true.
a long time ago.
But
They never liked each other. They have all that footage. They could have gone back and
Okay,
back
but-
and back and built
but-
it back up.
if they did that, would the ending have been as much of a shock? I mean, that
Yeah.
was
Yes,
the
yes, because
Because
it's
the
been
way that
20
ended-
years.
but just the way it ended was the shock.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think that was how it was supposed to end.
Obviously, look.
I mean, okay, maybe Brock really was supposed to win, but I don't think that was supposed to happen right then.
Dude,
couldn't
they
have.
had the graphic ready. They had everything ready. That was supposed to happen.
Okay.
if
dude.
the Undertaker did get a concussion earlier in the match, which is what it seems like, then maybe there was supposed to be some bigger, spectacular move. Like,
Yeah, I think-
something ridiculous like F5 off the top rope.
Yeah, they could have. If it was going to be the Undertaker and they wanted to really solidly end the streak, they would have gone with like the old Yeller finish,
Or
where,
even
where he
F5
keeps
onto
getting
the
up and he
steel
keeps.
steps.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, swinging around a guy and dropping him on his hip on a 49-year-old.
Okay.
But I will say
but-
that we get an old Yeller finish like every WrestleMania or every other WrestleMania. So it's. I think it was much more shocking, and you could tell by the reactions of the people in the crowd and that crazy
Yeah.
black guy with the insane
yeah,
eyes
that dude was
that it fucking flipped people out. Like
Yeah.
I think they were waiting afterwards for
Dude, they
for
were-
Teddy Long or for someone to come out and be like, no, play. It's not gonna end like that, or whatever.
Have a 6-man.
But nothing happened. You just had to sit in the reality that it was happening, and that it fucking happened.
It's done.
And
It's
took
done.
Like a full minute for Lesnar's music to start.
I love. Okay, when Heyman hit the ring, he knew he was like, "What? How did he kick out? How did he?" And there's this pause when he realizes he didn't. Like, oh my God, Brock, you did it!
If they were trying to give us the illusion that the whole production team and Paul Heyman and everybody were definitely not expecting that to happen and didn't have anything lined up for that turn of
Then
events,
they
did a really good job.
Yeah, guys, the unthinkable happened.
When really that was the best way you could have done it, because if you built it up and I really think it was, because would you have been that shocked any other way? Because the way that they did it, it was kind of out of nowhere and you didn't expect it, and it just shocked you. It was almost too much.
But,
You were
But there's hold on.
What?
Hold on. There's shocking, and then there's X-Pac shock. Okay?
I don't know if it was that.
No, hold on. There's got to be a reason that there was no build to the end of Taker's streak.
I will grant you.
The only build we got was, hey guys, don't forget Taker's going to have a match on Mania.
Yeah.
But it was a nothing match.
I'll grant you this.
I'll
grant you this. It would have been much more powerful had Lesnar not lost to Cena in his first match back. If he hadn't lost to Triple H. And
he did beat Triple H twice, though.
He did beat Triple H twice,
but not when it counted.
Yeah.
I do think though that you're right. The sheer shock of it. I mean, build aside, people are going to be talking about this forever.
It was more of like when it happened, we didn't even know what to do. We were just like, I don't.
Ending.
What?
People are gonna be asking about it forever. Was it an accident? I've heard people saying that Taker called an audible in the middle of the match because he just decided this isn't the way I want to go out.
I just can't. I can't get behind what should have been a career-making moment for someone, for a guy who's had a career for the last 10 years.
However, whether they intended it to come off that way or not, the exact way it went down, that's probably the most shocking moment, arguably in history of wrestling.
Also, I also want to say this, because they do kind of like to flip the script. Okay, Brock Lesnar is not going to stick around.
That's the other thing.
But Paul Heyman is.
Yeah.
So
he's
now
never gonna shut up.
So
ever.
now a Paul Heyman guy did what the McMahons could never do, what legends and champions could never do. Paul Heyman ended the streak, is what the story is going to become.
Real quick before you say anything, I want to tell you guys, we're probably going to go 10-15 minutes into Raw.
We apologize.
Sorry about that. We meant to do it earlier. We had some technical difficulties. We will have this up later if you want to tune out at some point. I wouldn't if I were you.
Yeah, we've got a full HD setup also, which will look much nicer.
You can skip the opening 5 minutes of Raw and Triple H's entrance. So
yeah.
Here's the rebuttal I would have to the whole Paul Heyman can brag thing. On Monday we had. I think it was Monday when we had who was really hot last year? Who was that guy that was dancing around? Oh, and you forgot about that. Then what's going to happen is Paul Heyman's going to say, yeah, Brock's not here anymore. He's taking his 7 months off this summer. But I'm still Paul Heyman, and I'm great. And what's going to happen is, yeah, Paul, who was that last guy that you thought was going to be so great? The last guy you tried to give the Heyman rub to? Oh, yeah, now he's being the fucking doofus comedy sidekick to ride back.
Dude,
and they're going to do it. Don't act like they won't.
This erases it.
Yeah. A Paul Heyman guy defeated The Undertaker.
Do you remember Heidenreich? Because I barely remember Heidenreich.
What I'm saying, exactly.
Fucking A-Train was a Heyman guy. It doesn't, for a little bit.
But what I'm saying is Triple H will come on television when Heyman's trying to push his next guy, and I'm Heyman, and I can make someone beat The Undertaker at Mania. I can make someone break the streak. I can do anything with my next client. And Triple H will come out and he will say, yeah, but what about Curtis Axel?
And then you know what?
What
and
about?
Then you know what Heyman says? Well, he beat you on Raw.
Yeah. He beat you in his debut match because you got a headache.
Well, we'll probably get into that because that is one of those let's see where it goes moments.
Mm.
Because
I'm calling it right now. I know Raw's about to start, so we'll know in about 2 hours if I'm wrong. Extreme Rules, they're feeding Brock to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Lesnar does typically stick around for Extreme Rules, so have to wait a little bit after that to see how it benefits Heyman in the long term. So we should probably move on.
Moving on, we then had the Vicky Guerrero Invitational.
And we should move on.
I do want to point out real quick before we move on how AJ beat the entire Divas division in one match.
So what next?
So how is she still the heel? Anyway, let's move on to the
main event. Randy Orton versus Batista versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship.
We can spend some time on this because this was crazy.
Oh
Let's
my
go back and
god!
spend a few more minutes on the Divas match.
No, we're good.
I think we can spend the time here.
Yeah.
Okay, just thought.
So going into this, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't because there was two people that a lot of fans don't really appreciate all that much.
Myself included.
And then Daniel Bryan, and we didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. I think we all knew that Triple H was going to get involved somehow, and part of me thought that he might fuck him out of it, and we would just end WrestleMania with the worst ending of all time.
The Evolution reunion.
You call it worse.
Yes.
If we could have had Orton and Batista, faint, and both of them fall on top of Bryan to get a double pin.
Dude, just because it would
both
be
champions.
Just because it would be featured on WrestleCrap doesn't mean that it's amazing.
No, it would have been amazing.
And they have to hold the two belts between them.
Exactly.
I always felt like Daniel Bryan
And
was
then-
going to win the match.
So we
but
ununify
I
the
was
title.
No.
Exactly.
Still unify.
No, I agree. They did a great job of making us think that that we were gonna get the bad
It's
ending.
like, oh my god, they wouldn't.
Okay,
But
I was
right before
so-
that, they just beat Taker, so they might.
They just
Let-
showed us that anything is possible.
let me paint the picture for you. So since SummerSlam, fans have been going out of their fucking mind because all they have wanted was for Daniel Bryan to have a legitimate reign with the championship. Now, it seemed afterwards that it was going to happen and that he was going to be their guy, and then we get Big Show was the guy after that, and we were like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is
they
happening?
had Big Show trying to co-opt his heat.
Yeah, and then we were like, well, it's going to end in Bryan winning the championship, and then it didn't,
Mm-hmm.
and then it didn't,
And then Cena with the title unification.
and then it didn't, and then it didn't, and we were like, what the fuck is going on? And I think a lot of us lost hope after the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were just like, well, it's not going to fucking happen now.
During the Royal Rumble.
During the Royal
Basically,
Rumble.
once Mysterio came out number 30.
Yeah. Not after the Royal Rumble, because after the Royal Rumble, we were like, well,
You were already dead.
they've got to
inside.
do something, or this is going to be insane.
I was
Mm-hmm.
vomiting motor oil for like 6 hours
Yeah.
after the Rumble.
So this is the
Nice.
moment. This is what we get finally. It's this triple threat match. We didn't really want it. We probably wanted Daniel Bryan in the main event in the singles match, but we get Daniel Bryan in the main event. That's fine. And the whole time we're like, okay, is this going to happen? Is this finally going to happen? Because we don't know what they're going to do. We have no fucking clue. Brock Lesnar just beat The Undertaker. They've set this precedent now that anything can fucking happen in the WWE like they did before. All bets are off now.
Yeah.
And so we're going into this. Triple H gets into the middle of this match at some point. And, sorry, someone is communicating with me off screen.
and
In a
he's
way that was
drinking,
designed to
so he
not
can't.
break up the podcast.
Yeah.
I cannot read and talk at the same time.
We're
right now.
professional guys.
Good God.
Drink.
Okay, so Triple H gets involved in this match. You're like, oh my God. This is what they're going to do. This is how they're going.
Excited.
This is how they're going to make Batista or Randy Orton
Or
win
both.
the championship.
It could have been both. Oh.
Co-champions like Jericho and China.
No, you split it up and you say, Randy, you get to own Raw. Batista, you get to own main event. And then I'll take over SmackDown because we can't trust Batista to run SmackDown. But
Dude.
then you could have corporate evolution. It could have
But
been fucking amazing.
this was fucking genius because you had just enough doubt to be like, Oh my god.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
All the elements,
my gosh.
all the elements that we didn't want to be in play were in play.
And what happened?
The worst fucking possible.
Fuck
Oh, shut up.
Drink!
I think we'll all throw him out the window.
Yeah. We get it. You're the show
We'll
heel.
take
We
turns.
understand.
Go down, pick him up, bring him back up, and throw him out again.
Okay.
So we've entered the new Dark Ages. We've got a phase of some little hairy troll running around with a
Okay,
child.
hey,
Go to your
stop.
room.
Hey, hold on. Stop. I'll do it. Shut the fuck up. Okay, break.
Do we drink?
What we really get is there were quite a few false finishes, weren't there, at the end? People being
Oh,
out
yeah.
of the ring, then diving in off camera to break up the pins the way they
Okay,
like to.
how about that fucking double finisher through the announce table?
Oh, when Orton RKO'd himself
Yeah, we should
on...
talk
Listen,
about
we're not huge fans of Randy Orton. I was really concerned.
Yeah, I don't like the guy, but I don't want him hurt.
Yes,
I
you
do, but not
Well, I want him hurt, but I don't want him like.
That could have been a paralyzed. That could
Yeah,
somebody could have gotten paralyzed
Well,
doing. what
hold
he
on. You can have a little bit of nerve damage that stops you from being a professional athlete. That
did.
doesn't
People have gotten
paralyzed.
paralyzed off of less.
I know. I'm saying, but it could be a manageable sort of
For
debilitating.
those of you that didn't see it, you had to have seen it. But I mean, what happened was Batista goes up for the Batista bomb on Bryan through the table. And then Orton goes up and he does like a joint neck breaker with it. But when he comes down, he lands on the monitor.
back
The whole
right
small
in
of
the
his
middle
back.
of
It
his
looked
spine.
bad.
Right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I thought he was seriously.
Would you guys
Hurt.
blame one of the commentators for that? Because only they knew exactly where it was with the tables up.
I would blame Batista. He's the one that took the table.
I wouldn't place as much. Look, it's Batista and Orton, and I wouldn't place blame anywhere because it was just a case of one guy standing up to do the one move he's supposed to do well, and Orton doing his best to make the RKO interesting because that's all he does.
Luckily, it looks like. I mean, we don't know for sure.
He looked okay. He had a gash down his back, but that seems to have been the worst of it.
But it was on the meat side and not on the spine. So
listen, if you get away from that with just like a little gash on your back,
Yeah, count your lucky
well,
stars.
he was up and running around, getting thrown into more shit.
So you
So
should just count it so lucky it wasn't a TNA microphone he landed.
Yeah.
that would be
So,
the end, my friend.
So Bryan overcame the Triple H and Stephanie and Scar Armstrong coming out. Then he overcame that crazy...
That was the weirdest fucking spot I've seen in a long time. When Scott Armstrong came running back and tore off his regular civilian shirt and had the stripes like,
It was like,
I'm back, bitches! And
we
it was
know
like-
you're a referee.
Yeah.
Well, remember though, he was dismissed with,
Yeah,
with
that-
a very
yeah.
considerate severance package.
He was like,
Yeah.
we're gonna take care of you forever.
I did quite
Yeah.
like that though. Whenever they call back anything from the past like that
that was great.
and work it back in a
Yeah,
way that
I-
actually makes sense.
Dude,
That was the one
If
thing
Dr.
where I was
Shelby
like,
shows
that's
up at the
amazing.
Daniel Bryan celebration segment, I will be a very happy man.
Okay, that will make me happy.
Yeah. So, okay. For how long have people been bitching about them burying Bryan?
Since summer.
Not
Yeah.
long enough.
Okay.
Listen, don't say people, because we're very guilty.
Yeah, me too.
Very,
But,
very
all right. Look at the fucking rock star treatment he got on this show. He opens the show with a half-hour classic with a guy who has been booked forever as the king of everything ever. They rewrote history to pretend he was more important than he ever was. The guy who was known for specifically and maliciously torpedoing careers. Triple H puts him over completely clean. Then, later in the night, he overcomes all the shenanigans. He overcomes he overcomes all sorts of interference, referee attempts, double finishers through tables, regular finishers, and he makes the movie star that they brought in specifically to cash in on having a superhero movie star as their champion. He makes him tap out to win Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair's title belts.
It could have been.
That's really all that can be said about
Yeah.
No,
While
it
the
could have
entire
been-
crowd loses their minds.
And he won it in the best way that you could possibly do it. The movie star, the guy that's going to be in one of the biggest movies in a long time. So he made him tap out in the middle of the fucking ring, man.
Right after knocking out Randy.
Now, if I may, little Timmy has recovered from all his injuries, and he's got an even bigger bike than he was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to forget all the pain and
No.
abuse he went through, but
He's happy.
But guys,
Yes.
okay, in terms of maybe tonight everything goes back to business as usual, but tonight we're in uncharted waters.
You're right.
I mean,
with the
The
Undertaker
old
thing,
era. I mean, apart from the Bray Wyatt match, the old guard failed utterly. The Big Show couldn't win the Andre match. Triple H couldn't do what he's known for doing in burying your heroes. Randy and Batista couldn't put Daniel Bryan down. Even the most sacred cow in the history of wrestling, the Streak, is gone. We are in a whole
we're
new
talking
era.
about fresh starts. But for all we know, Daniel Bryan could be going through a table right now on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, Raw started, so as far as I know, they just pedigreed him.
to your point, what has been the WWE's motto for like 20 years?
And now you're complaining that they're living up to it?
No. I'm not.
forever?
It's anything can happen in the WWE, and now I feel like that is truly the case.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
because-
before it just applied to Kofi Kingston.
Before it was just a saying. Now it is
Except for title
truly
shots.
the fucking case. All bets are off. Undertaker's gone. Like you thought it would never happen. The streak is over. You didn't know if Daniel Bryan was going to win, and he
triumphs in the best possible way.
It's pretty fucking crazy, man, looking back at all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, and even, like, everybody's complaining about Bray, but, I mean, I think a lot of people thought it was like, well, he's a future company, so he's going to win. Anything can happen, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have more idea
So-
where it's headed after Raw, which we're kind of missing right now. So we
So
should start
we should-
wrapping this up
yeah.
and go and get to that.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
what was your opinion in terms of how this stacked up in terms of the WrestleMania legacy?
This was my favorite WrestleMania since probably
X7.
20. I like 20.
20 was
20
good.
had some good stuff, but I think 17 still tops that.
X7 is still
I
the
think
best.
18 is underrated, but it wasn't like great in the grand scheme. But yeah, it's got to be the best since 20 or 17.
The fact in this atmosphere of wrestling, in this era, that they've managed to get one that probably gets into my top 5 is quite surprising, considering what we're dealing with at the moment.
Yeah.
Also, the WrestleMania in which Triple H faced Cena, I think
23, wasn't it?
23,
I think so. That was the last time when I seriously jumped off my couch because you didn't know what was going to happen when he had him in the STF and everything, and you didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, that was good. That was a very good Triple H match. Man, this had to be the best in such a long time.
Yeah, this
gets me excited for wrestling again.
this is why I'm a fan. I mean, as much as they drag stuff out far longer than it should, as much as they make colossal mistakes like they did in the Rumble, when it pays off, it's worth it.
Yeah,
I mean, this is why we watch.
for sure.
This is why we put up with the bullshit, because when they give us something we love, it is so perfect.
Mr. Poit, do you have some final thoughts?
So I will agree that this is probably, in my opinion, the best since X7. I've not seen 20, so I can't judge it compared to that one. I enjoyed pretty much the entire card, even the Divas match, which I know all of
The
you
Divas
disagree
match was
with.
actually pretty good.
I'll
Considering
tell you
everyone
what.
only got like 6 seconds of ring time.
I'll tell you what. Since WWE Network's out, we're gonna have Point watch WrestleMania 20 by the end of the week.
Hey, there we go.
And
Also, we're going to have Poit on YouTube duty reviewing every episode of Total Divas.
And while we're at it, every episode of WCW Thunder.
Now, before we go, we should point out that the regular episode will also be live tomorrow.
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
Now that we know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Now
we
that
will-
she
Now that she knows what the hell
we're
she's doing.
She knows.
We are going to post on both TPWW and on Twitter when we're going to be starting, and so follow along, and so that you can, just like some of you did tonight, you can post along with us as we're talking, and join the discussion.
So,
WrestleMania 30, everybody.
WrestleMania,
good
everybody.
night, everybody.
I'm gonna get drunk.
Could have been Triple H.
I am drunk.
It probably should have been Triple H.
Fuck.
Definitely should have been Triple H. Definitely.
Fuck.